Hello, hello, hello. Good evening. Welcome to Saturday night on ROX Rock Box. Whether you're watching us on Facebook or on our YouTube channel, welcome all. I hope we're all well. Hope we've all had a good day. What have we been up to today? Good evening, Sylvia. Evening, Anna. Hello, Dawn. Nice to see you there, and I'm sure there's other people out there who are watching in. Comment, say hello, say good evening. Don't be shy. I'll only mention you. I won't ask you any questions if you don't want to. We've had a very productive day today. And here's Hilary Stanley. Good evening, sweetheart. Hope you're well. Evening, Carol. So yes, we have had a very productive day. I've had a lovely little chat with Hilary today. We've been discussing some things, putting some plans into the future. Very nice things. Oh, thank you, Carol. And yes, today we did launch our beautiful ROX selection boxes. Really nice, really good. It is amazing because we first discussed those when the sun was shining, when we were out in our back garden. I don't even think we had the event shelter up by then. So it was perhaps July time we were discussing it amongst friends. And it is amazing when we talk how that then becomes a plan, a goal, and today it became a reality. So really oh, Hilary, I'm sorry, Hillary's just put up a fab day smoking bacon. That's a little private joke between us, which hopefully we will share very soon with you guys. So we've got seven boxes all together that we've just put together. They're containing a nice array of selection, which is why they're a selection box. Or the eagle is landing, the eagle is coming in. So yeah, there's something for everyone. There's a bit of rough, there's a bit of smooth, there's some shapes in there as well. I have to say, Belinda Eaton, who is commented down below, she's the beautiful lady who has done the cloth yantra cloths for us, the Flower of Life. They are absolutely beautiful, absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Belinda. They are so nice. And Hilary Stanley, who I've mentioned before, she makes an appearance in our Dragon box. She's kindly put her meditation CD in that. So that is really nice for that. So tonight, I do believe she could be ready for us. If she can hear me, oh, she's waving. She's ready for us. I absolutely love this lady. This lady was actually the first person we met when we first started doing our events, and we went to the healing weekend. Before the doors opened to the customers, this lady came over and she made us, along with a lovely partner, David, made us feel so welcome, really made us feel part of the tribe. And our friendship has just grown since then. She's absolutely amazing. A few months back, we actually went to see her in person, and we delved into so much of what this lady has done in her life. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about tonight. I know we're going to bring in the spiritual aspect of what she's done in her spiritual side of things, but she's also a remarkable singer. And hopefully, if there is time, we'll go down that route of the band that she was in or still is in. So if we're all ready, if we're sitting comfortably, I will bring up the beautiful Melayne Stone.
Woo! Hello. Hello. Hello, my
Melayne,
darling.
how are you?
Ooh, I've been running around. I'm here, though. I'm here.
Do you know what? You are so here, and thank you so much for taking the time out to come on a Saturday evening and to chat with me about you. So
Oh,
thank
bless
you.
you. I will say I feel very privileged and honoured, and I thank you so much. This is just fantastic. It's wonderful.
It is so great to see you here, sweetheart, and I hope everything is all good. Melayne,
Yes.
how I always start my chats with the special guests is how, because you're a medium. You Is that the title we would give you?
Well, I see myself as, you know, how can I explain it? I'm a seventh daughter of a seventh child, fifth generation clairvoyant medium, and yeah, I wouldn't really know how to really describe myself. It's just that, like, what you see is what you get,
Mhm,
and I'm very direct and very honest in a kind and compassionate way, and
mhm.
I just give the information that I'm given. I'm just the middle person, really, aren't I? You know,
You
and
are.
I love my work. I love helping people. It's great when you know, when somebody comes in and they're down and they've been through so much, and you can give them a lot of hope, and you can validate their past and what they're going through, and give them, you know, valid validation really of their life and where they are and their loved ones and things like that. And they come in with a long face and they leave smiling and they're happy and they've got a reason to move forward, you know, to do well in their life. And I love to see that, because there's a lot of people out there, even more so now than ever, because of what's going on, that people are just going through so much traumatic change, and everybody's going through this great kind of like awakening, because 2020 is a year really all about the awakening.
Yeah.
And I feel it's almost like as if things are happening to try and stop the spiritual people from having that massive awakening. And we're all here as spiritual beings of light to help people and to show them that there is this awakening, and it can be about positive change, because that's what
Yeah.
it's all about, really, isn't it?
Thank you so much. And it is. It is. It's about seeing that positive and holding on to it. We can so easily ride the wave of fear, ride the wave of negativity, and just go down with that. That's really easy. We could all do that, but we need to hold on to that positivity. It's if I look at this year, I wouldn't put this virus on my top 10. There is so much more things that I have achieved, you know, doing these live talks is one of them. Doing my online workshops, being part of the Oasis group, having my radio show. There is so much that's gone on in this year. 365 days. We don't let this thing take over that.
Well,
You know,
that's true. I agree with you. People feel trapped in fear, But what
Hmm.
they're fearing is fear itself. And I always say that to everyone, you know, you're feeling trapped in fear, but what are you fearing but fear itself?
Mm.
We have the ability to actually be positive and focus and change the way that we think
Yeah.
and change our life for the better, and not let other things from outside interference spiritually affect us in the way that people are being affected,
Mm.
if that makes any sense at all.
It does. It does. I mean, obviously, I could come from that platform because, touch wood, I don't know anybody close to me who's been affected by this virus. It's not been in our friends, it's not been in our immediate family. So we have got a good solid foundation block to start from. But obviously, if there's people out there who have had it affect them in a personal way, then they'll need a little bit more of a diving board to get into that.
Definitely. That's
Yeah.
very, very true. And my heart goes out to these people, you know,
Mm.
and that's what we're here for. We're here, whatever problem, whatever issue anyone's got, you know, even when I was working on TV in the past, it's like, you know, I say, bring it on, bring it on. We're here to help you. And that's what it's all about. A problem aired is a problem shared. And
Yeah.
I always say that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you just said there about your TV show. When did your spiritual awakening happen for you? I mean, you also mentioned you're a seventh daughter of a seventh daughter,
A seventh child, a
a seventh
seventh
child,
daughter of a seventh son. My father was a seventh son, and I'm the seventh daughter of a seventh son. So I know
Wow.
it's crazy, isn't it? Fifth generation, because it runs through my family anyway. But the first time, I know it's really crazy, and people might think that I'm strange, but I'm being totally honest. I can remember, and I know this is crazy, but it's true. I can remember being in my mother's womb. I can really remember that. And when I was 3 years old, I kind of like knew about certain things without anyone ever telling me. Like I knew there was a creator. I knew that there were angels. I could see them. You know, I had so many different experiences, you know, it through my life. And I always knew that I was different. And, you know, like I went through difficult times in kind of like different places where I lived, and my background of my past was a difficult one, but I would never change that. In a way, I feel that what I've been through my life has made me the person I am today, so I wouldn't change it. Like lots of different children's homes, all that kind of stuff. And it wasn't easy. It was very hard.
Yeah.
It was very hellish. But you know what? It's made me who I am. It's made me have courage and be brave. And instead of being bitter and twisted like some people can get and angry, and that's called the human condition, and everybody has got a right to go through those emotions to actually be able to find themselves. And I did go through those emotions for a period of time, till one morning I woke up, looked in the mirror, I goes, hey, this isn't me. I want to get out in the world, and I want to do upstairs' work. They want me to do it, and you know, I'm not going to run away from myself or run away from who I am and what I'm here to do. And you know, through my life, I had some very out of body experiences as a child. And when I was 11, I had the most craziest thing happen to me. And I don't mind sharing it with you and everyone. Um, but I was in a children's home and I was being bullied really badly. And I was laying in my bed in this little room opposite the uh, you know, my bed was the window, and the windows were bolted down. You couldn't open them. There was long curtains. I was laying there crying, and I was praying, and I was saying, I believe in you. I trust in you. I know you're there. I know you're with me, and I'm not afraid. And I was 11 years old. I was a little girl that didn't really know much, only about all these spiritual things that kept happening to me. And the more I tried to push it away, the more it came at me. And then I went, I know it's crazy, but I said it. I said, dear Lord, please give me a sign. Please give me a sign. And with that, these curtains came out right in the middle of the room, this gush of wind like a storm. And these curtains came right out in the middle of the room. And all of a sudden they came open, and this light from upstairs, from the heavens, shone down on me. And I just sat up in my bed, and I was bathed with pure love. And this light was on me, not just for a few seconds, but it was like a long, long time. And I just embraced it. And I knew that it was something pure of love, but I couldn't explain what it was because I was only 11. And then as soon as it had come, and this went on for quite a long time, and I was so, I was mesmerized. I couldn't believe it, but I wasn't afraid. I didn't need to be, because it was so magical. It was so beautiful. And I could feel it so strongly all around me. I felt protected. And then all of a sudden it went, shh, and it was gone. And I went, wow. And with that, the girls all come running in my room, especially the girl that was beating me up all the time. And she goes to me, she said something to me. She goes, I know what you saw. We all heard you. I know what you saw. And we saw that light as well. And then she gave me a 3-letter name. And I goes, maybe now you'll leave me alone. Bless you. And she did. Is that crazy?
Not at all, because I mean, I did an interview the other week for a lady for a show, and we all have our trials and tribulations throughout our life. And for me, when you are at your lowest, that's when spirit comes through to you. That is when you get it. And, she asked me when I had my spiritual awakening, and I said, I don't think I'm finished. I said, every time when I think, oh, okay, this is my spiritual awakening, something else happens, and I awake again, and I awake again. But just like you, Melayne, I would not change a single thing of my past, because, as you say, it is who has made me who I am, and your past is what's made you who you are today. So it's not crazy at all, because I've been down to the bottom, and spirit has shone the light for me to climb back up. Yeah, so I absolutely, truly, it doesn't sound crazy to me, sweetheart. Whether that means just you and me need to spend some time in a padded cell, I don't know. But absolutely, I do have the beautiful Elaine Fenton. She's joining us, and I'm just popping up a comment that she's put. I don't know if you can read that, but I'll read it out for you.
Because I actually drove over my reading glasses. So I've only got my distance glasses at the moment.
Elaine has said, you are one of the true wonderful souls who have the right to share deep soul messages.
Wow.
Despite all the challenges you have faced, you shine like the brightest of stars.
Wow. Oh, I want to cry. How beautiful. It must be an amazing, beautiful soul to even write that. So what she sees in me is truly who she is. That's what I have to say. Wow.
And again, I agree with you there, because I always find what people find in me, I equally find in them. And that's when you know you found your tribe, is when they turn around and say what they see in me, and I'll go, but I see that exactly in you.
Wow.
So yes.
Well, I remember the day I first met you with all your beautiful crystals, and I was drawn to come and talk to you both. I thought, wow, what's your amazing, lovely gentleman? I had to come and talk to you.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I mean?
I don't know if you could hear us, but at the beginning introducing, I said that you were the first people, apart from Melayne, you was the next people to see us at the healing weekend. That was our first ever event, first time of going out with our crystals. And you and David came over to us. You made us feel welcome. You made us
Oh,
feel part of the family, and
you are.
really settled us
You
in.
are. You
And
are.
and now look, I mean, 5 years, 6 years on, I'm part now of an amazing group, an amazing family. I'm part of the Oasis weekend. I'm an admin, you know.
You know
Um,
something, you truly deserve it. Honestly, I know you've had a difficult past. I know you have. You know, I look at people, I can just be next to somebody and feel their pain and feel their emotion. And, you know, when I was a lot younger, I used to go in pubs, okay, because I'm doing music as well, you see. I used to go in pubs with my band and everything, obviously doing gigs. And I'd be close to someone and I could feel their vibration, and I could be standing behind them looking the other way, and they'd be talking to somebody and I'd say, "Excuse me, young lady, there's something I want to tell you." "Yes, you behind me with the blonde hair and the blue eyes." And start telling them their life. And then they turn round and look at me. I turn and look at them and I say, "Look, stop worrying. I know you're worrying about this, this, and this, but don't worry. Everything's going to be cool. Just trust. You've asked for heaven's help. Get out of the way and let heaven help you." "How do you know this? Oh, I just do. I just want to give you that message. Stop worrying, you know, and enjoy tonight. Stop being so afraid of life. You know, you have to move forward. What are you afraid of? Stop being afraid of yourself. You've got so much to give the world and you're afraid to give it. Don't, you know." And like, I used to do that all the time. I can walk into a shop round the corner and I see somebody really, really depressed, or I see their loved one in the spirit standing behind them. And then I say, "Oh, I've got this gentleman or this lady here," and I might give an initial or a name. I give a message and describe them. And they nearly fall on the floor. And then I start giggling and say, come on, it's all right." You know, I just love what I do. And you know, it's a blessing from upstairs, you know, to be,
it,
you know, to be
it
given
really
this
is.
gift and to use it in a positive way.
And you do that. You do that. I've got a few more comments of people, so I'm just going to read them out to you, sweetheart. Um,
Okay.
Carol Thornycroft. You might know her because she does the Lighthouse in Poole, Dorset. Um,
Okay.
and she says, "You're not crazy. As a healer, I've also been there. I think that's what makes us who we are. When you've been down that black hole and fight your way back up is what makes us who we are, like you've just said. Blessings. I love watching you across from my table at the lighthouse. You just shine your light."
Wow.
So yeah,
How wonderful.
she's near the entrance doors. She's by the entrance doors of the lighthouse. So she is opposite
Oh,
you there.
I think I know who you mean. She's a lovely, kind lady as well.
Yeah, if you saw her face, you would. You would. A face for Crime Watch.
That
I
makes me
love you, Carol.
laugh.
Um, Debbie Jane Harrison, who's one of the red shirts at the Healing Weekend.
Okay.
Melayne came through with a message for me at last year's Healing Weekend from a baby my daughter had lost to spirit. We
Wow.
spoke after, and the energy and love that comes from Melayne is truly pure and beautiful. Debbie, that's beautiful. Definitely.
I'm going tingly and oh, I'm just wow. Thank you so much. It's nice to be appreciated. You know, I feel like you know, like through my childhood and growing up and certain aspects of my life, um, I felt very unappreciated by people that I loved really hurt me, as you know.
Mhm.
And but when you get people, um, you know, that have seen you here and seen you there, and I want to give them all a big hug because those are such beautiful, kind words. The 3 messages that you've given me
Yep.
are
And
just
can we
lovely.
send some healing love to Debbie, because she has got the virus at the moment and
Oh,
it's
bless her.
horrendous. So we'll send her a big, big healing hug to her.
Definitely, 100%. Is I give you a big, big hug. I'd send her some Reiki. So before we leave this show, you give me her full name and I'll do that. Absent healing for her.
I certainly will do. I certainly will do. Now, this message here is something we're going to come on to now. So Elaine has heard that you sing beautifully. Can you come and share on Oasis? Dan will give you a shove. Now, before I put up those comments, you mentioned that you used to go into the pubs because you were in a band.
Yeah.
Now, guys out there, last 2 months ago, I think it was, we went over to this lovely lady's house and she put on the songs that the band that you were in. They're sublime. The voice that this lady has got is amazing. And not just back then, because you were singing along to them and you have still got it, girl. So, yes, Elaine, before I pass it over to Melayne to talk about her singing career, I will give her a big shove. She's coming on to sing because you are beautiful.
That's very, very kind. I must give you a CD actually.
Yes, because I want to use your songs for my breaks in my show, if that's okay, on my radio.
No, of course you can. I will tell you, I'm a songwriter. So I've been songwriting. I think I really started songwriting in the early 80s, you know, and it kind of like was like poetry. I met Van Morrison and I traveled to Australia and to see him and to be around him. And I did some work with him in the past doing backing vocals. And I've worked with Gary Moore from Thin Lizzy in his solo career. And I've worked with other people doing backing vocals. But in the 80s, when I met Van, he really inspired me to write. And he's a very spiritual man, even though he's very grumpy, bless him. He is. He is. Can be. Oh, he knows what he wants. Do you know what I mean? If he doesn't get what he wants, he's a Virgo. Leo Virgo.
When you said he was a grumpy man but spiritual, I thought, oh, well, my hubby, he's a grumpy man and he's spiritual and he's a Virgo.
And guess what? I'm a spiritual woman and I can be a very grumpy woman, but I'm very spiritual too. Isn't that funny? No, but I mean, his early music is absolutely out of this world. And it's funny because how I met him was really strange. My ex-boyfriend, one time he said, look, I want you to listen to this music. He's Van Morrison. You ever heard of him? I said, no, never. And the albums were sitting there for a whole year before I actually started playing them. One night I got bored and I thought, oh, let me just put this album on. I had loads of albums. I still have. I'm a collector. And I thought, you know, let me put this album on. Let me see. And there was about 15 albums there. And I thought, I'm going to go through these. And I was sitting there and I was just, you know, shocked. I went, wow, I've got to meet this guy. I've really got to meet him. So I wrote him a letter. But before I wrote him this letter, I also, he was doing some gigs all around, you know, England. And so I thought, I've got to go and meet this guy. I've got to go and see what he's like, you know, kind of like at a gig. And I just fell in love with him in the sense of his music, his lyrics. And Van is a type of person, he'll tell you it exactly as it is. No messing around. If he doesn't like something, he'll say he doesn't like it. You know, he does a lot of good things for a lot of people, and he's a top producer. He doesn't talk about it, and he's been through a lot of trials and tribulations in his life. He's had a very, very hard past, a difficult background. You know, the woman he first loved, she died of TB, tuberculosis, and she died in
Oh,
his arms, and that really broke him. It took a long time for him to actually get back. But when I actually wrote to him, I never thought I'd hear from him, but I kissed the envelope and posted it. 6 weeks later, a letter through my door. If you'd like to meet me, I'd like to meet you at the Hilton in Holland Park. And that was for the next day. So off I went and I met him, and I was just blown away by him. And as soon as I got home after meeting him, I just started writing lyrics, just writing, it just flowing out of me.
mm,
And then after that, I started going to places where he would go. And I even walked into a studio where he was actually rehearsing to go on tour. So that's how it all kind of like happened. And then the thing was, I want to jump forward,
you
because
jump
then
forward.
a friend of mine, I've been on my own for a long time. A friend of mine phoned me up after 7 years where I was living where I am now. And she goes, "Oh, Melayne, how are you?" And I burst out crying. And I've been very alone for a long time, been through a lot. And I told her, and she goes, "Oh, I'm going to send you a cab. You're coming to stay with me this weekend." And I had a cat, a little kitten that I found with a broken leg. I said, "I can't leave Ozzy." She said, "Bring him, put him in a box and bring him." So anyway, I went over there, and all of a sudden the bell went after an hour, and this man walked through the door. And I thought, "I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from?" And he looked at me, he goes to me, "I know you from somewhere, but I don't know where I know you from." I said, "Me too, I know you too." And then Kibsy, her name's Caroline, I call her Kibsy, she goes to me, "Oh, this is Bob, you know. He's a virtuoso guitarist. Hey Bob, Mel's got some fantastic lyrics, you know." And he goes, "Well, you know, Michelle, your sister told me all about Mel before." He said, "Oh, I'd love to, you know, see your lyrics." And I thought, hold on here a minute, you know, who is this guy? Anyway, he ended up by staying for the weekend. I stayed in Kibbs's son's bedroom, and Bob slept on the settee. So we're getting to know each other, and he's playing guitar and all of that. And I went, wow. Anyway, I went home. I said, "Bob, it's really lovely to meet you. You're such a lovely man. I love the way you play, you know, it's fantastic. You make my heart sing." And he goes, "That's a nice thing to say. Do you mind if I get your phone number from Kibsy? And I'll give you a call." And then a few weeks later, I get a call from him. You know, "Who are you? Where did you come from? You know, I want to write an album with you. Would you be willing to do that?" And that's how Talisman, my band, started. Yeah, actually started. And so he came over, and I said to him, "Why don't you just stay? You can have my son's bedroom, see how we go." You know what I mean? Because I just can't write lyrics just like that to be inspired. So anyway, he stayed for a few days, and then I think on the third or fourth day, he's playing his guitar. I goes to him, "I love that tune. I love that tune." And then I started just saying, I had a 4-track on, and I just started saying these lyrics about "In the Light of Truth." So I've written a whole album called "In the Light of Truth," and it's absolutely magical. I couldn't play it to you that night because it's on an old uh, tape,
Vinyl?
tape,
Oh,
and I have
tape.
to get it. I have to, yeah, I have to. The actual recording is on a tape, but it's
Oh,
all copywritten. All my stuff is copywritten, and like, so what happened? We got together, and so I wrote "In the Light of Truth," and then within an hour, I written another song called "I Shall Not Yield," and another song called "The Hub," which is about homelessness and things like that. And it's about how governments are, because I'm kind of like very into what isn't right, you
mm,
know, needs
Mhm.
to be put right. I don't like injustices. So
No.
I have a bit of a political way about me. And also, when I sing about the creator, I never actually use the word God or the creator. I kind of like use other words like him and things like that, because a lot of my songs, I would say, are about very powerful, all about, the
They
light, the creator, animals,
they
love.
are amazing. For me, sitting there, and I mean, I'm not blowing things, I'm not being an extremist, but I mean, two of my favorite artists when I was growing up was Fleetwood Mac and Tracy Chapman. And
Wow,
and
yes.
to me, put those two in a bag, and that was very similar to the style of music that we were listening to around your house. It had the it had the beat of Fleetwood Mac, but with your vocals and the information you were putting across in your lyrics was very Tracy Chapman. I loved it. It was so up my street. I could listen to your albums for nights. It was beautiful.
Thank you. But I never actually went out of my way, and that's an honour actually, because I love Fleetwood Mac and I love Tracy Chapman. You know what I
Mm.
mean? But I love many artists because I love heavy rock as well. And I am a rock singer really. It depends on it. It's got to be saying something. It has to. The music's got to be saying something. The lyrics have got to be saying something to me.
Yeah,
But I like all kinds of music, even Beethoven and Mozart. I love
yeah,
Handel. Um, and I
yeah,
like all kinds of music, whether it be R&B, reggae. I like all kinds of music. I think as a musician, when you listen to music and you're an artist as well, and you're in the studio, and it's like I go with the feel. Because me and Bob, it's like we arranged all our stuff, we produced all our own stuff, and we wrote a lot of stuff together. And I found the stuff that I wrote in the 80s before I even knew him, he'd say some lyrics, get his book out, and like I go, wow, I've got something similar to that, let me get my book.
oh
And we
wow.
actually joined them and created songs out of, bringing verses together, that he wrote something and then something of mine went exactly and fitted like a glove. So, God rest his soul. I really miss him because he died last year. He was in Grenfell Tower. He survived Grenfell. And he was a massive part of my life. And not only that, I mean, when we sang together, it was just out of this world. And David was my drummer and my backing vocalist and percussionist. He's an amazing singer.
We,
He has an
I can
angelic
vouch
voice.
he is an amazing singer. I have heard, and
The
he
three
is.
of us, it's true. The three of us, we had a three-part harmony, and it's just sounds. The sound is just amazing. And the one thing that David and Bob had is this real bond. Bob would be playing guitar, playing something. All of a sudden, David would kick in with those drums, and it would go into something just so unbelievable. And I'd go, wow. And I'd be sitting there writing the lyrics down, and like we just go in the studio and Bob would be creating some music. And like I'd say to him, why don't you add this to that? Why don't you move that from there and put that there? Bring David's vocals in here and take mine out of there and put it there. And then we're all going to do a three-part harmony for backing. And it would all just fit into place. And it was just amazing. And I owe a lot. I really owe so much to Robert Stone, who was my husband and my partner. And what happened was, unfortunately, he wasn't the easiest of people. Sometimes creative people can be very difficult. I can admit it because I'm very creative. if I'm not doing my creative or my spiritual work and sitting there doing nothing, I can become very moody. I don't mean to be, and I'm always apologetic when I am, or when I'm being difficult, because I'm not doing what I really want to do. And Bob was very like that, and so sometimes he was so difficult. I used to have to run away. So we broke up in 2012 in April, and we had the flat at Grenfell Tower from the early 90s. He had it from the late 80s, and I told him to keep it. And so when we broke up, he went to live at Grenfell. I stayed here, but we remained very, very good friends. And what happened was 2 years after me and Bob broke up, me and David, we started doing work together, writing songs and creating. And then we just fell in love, and he supported me when my best friend Agnes passed away in 2012 as well, and supported me through everything. And Bob, he found somebody else that he fell in love with. So everybody was happy.
Yeah.
But
So,
when he actually died last year, that just really broke me, you know.
so you were quite like the Stevie Nicks. You ditched the lead singer and went off with the drummer. That is so rock and roll, Mel. So rock and
No,
roll.
it's not intentional, but it just everything happens for a reason, you
That is
know.
all in pure jest. Pure jest.
I know. Oh, look, I don't take offence to
That,
anything, honestly.
that
Everybody's
was
entitled to see what
such a
they
rock
like,
and roll
you know.
lifestyle. I've got,
Exactly.
I have got a few. I've got quite a few comments coming through, and this is amazing because normally I have to twist these people's arms to write things, but they're coming through. So bear with. Sally Pedder. Hi, Dan and Melayne. I identify with what you say, although I am nowhere near where you two are on the spiritual path. Nonsense, Sally. We are all on the same level. All on the same level. I feel that all the best people are broken and cracked. It's where the light gets in. You are both such beautiful souls. It is lovely to spend time with you this evening, and sending healing thoughts to Debbie too.
Oh, that's so lovely.
Absolutely. Oh, no, hold on. Stan, Hillary's better half. Stan, I saw Van Morrison a ton of times. The one I remember most was at Nebworth 1974. Great gig. I loved it.
Wow. That's going back a way.
Oh, did I say Hillary? Sorry, Elaine. Sorry, Hillary. I'm just pairing people off now. I've got the rock and roll lifestyle. Elaine Fenton, sometimes the things we leave behind are the very ones we need to take up once more. In the light of truth needs a voice, and all the others.
Wow.
Carol Thornycroft, she loves Fleetwood Mac. Good girl. Sarah Matthews, is there anywhere we can hear your music?
It'll be coming out very, very soon, because I took it all down. To be honest with you, a friend of mine, well, actually, he's my electrician. He's a really nice guy. I've known him 9 years. And he said to me the other day, your website needs to be, you know, you need to really updo it. And I've got some great ideas for the website. And what I'm going to do, I'm keeping what I've got, but I'm going to transform it so much better. And there's going to be stories about Bob, because he was an actor as well. We did a lot of acting together. We were in a lot of movies together. And there's things that happened on the film sets where people would crack up if they knew. You know, like Bob having an argument with Russell Crowe on Gladiator, because Russell Crowe was being a bit of a diva.
Good
And it
word.
was so
Good
funny.
word.
You know, he was. And, you know, I got so many stories to tell. So there's going to be a whole section about him that's going to be in his loving memory. I'm going to get all my albums up and running. I'm going to get them up onto, there's going to be a section for music, a section about Robert, because he's known in the industry as Robert rather than Bob. I call him Bob. So does David. And then there's going to be a section about all the film work and snippets of all the ones I've been in. And then there's going to be a big thing about our music. And then I'm going to make a massive section because I've done a lot of spiritual writing as well that I've never actually really released. But when I've read them to people, they've gone, wow, why haven't you published this? So I'm going to be putting a lot of that stuff on there as well. And I'm going to do a section about the readings and how I work. And I've got photographs of me with spirit holding me. They're actually on my website now. There's 4 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, you can actually see the faces around me. You know, one of them, they've got a skeleton hand he's got his hand round my neck like that with his face up against me. And you can actually see that on the website. If you go to Ghostbusting, you can actually see those pictures. And I've got lots of pictures like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm in the process of doing that now, really upgrading the website. It's going to be absolutely magical. It's going to, people are going to look at that and they're going to go, wow, this is amazing, you know. And the section that I want for Robert is in his memory. And also, you know, me and David, we've written a new album, but we haven't created the music yet because I've got a recording studio here. I need to get it up and running because I've had a lot of building work. So once that's all done, we're going to get our studio up and running. And also for the old stuff, I am going to be taking Bob, let's say Bob, his voice, his vocals off. So I'm going to redo the songs with his vocal on there. So I'm keeping his vocal on there because it has to be. He has to be there, you know. And we're going to, you know, bring them a little bit more up to date, even though I know, you know, the last song we ever wrote together was called Smile.
And there's a story behind that.
There is, yeah.
Because it's from your days of being on the TV.
Yes.
The psychic channel was it you were on?
I was on Your Destiny TV and I was given my own show on there for 2 years. And it striked up a lot of jealousy. Oh, it was horrendous. And actually, some of the mediums and psychics, they were lovely because they were genuine, they were real. What you saw was what you got, and they knew. I mean, it was amazing working with them anyway. But there were a few that would gang up on me and they'd be vindictive. And how did she get her own show? And you get rid of her, otherwise we're all walking out and stuff like that. And anyway, that show was a brilliant show. I loved that show. And then it stopped after 2 years. And for 2 years, I didn't do any TV work. And then I got headhunted by, it was called Psychic Interactive. So I ended up on there for 2 years. And the same thing again, some of the psychics were absolutely, the mediums, absolutely wonderful to me. And we worked well on, you know, on the desk together live. And then there was just a few of them. I'd walk in the green room and say, good morning or good evening, have a brilliant show, you know, because I'm a friendly person. And they just wouldn't even look at me. You know, it was horrible. And I'd go to the bathroom to do my makeup to go live on TV and I'd start crying because it was so hurtful. What have I done, you know? Because I didn't ask to be, you know, because Your Destiny TV was worldwide. So it was a worldwide show and big in America. So I never asked to become famous overnight, but I did. And I didn't ask for that because I don't see my work as fame and money and notoriety. No, it isn't about that. I've never felt like that. I'm not saying if you're given that blessing, it is a blessing. But it's not something that I reached out for. I'm just there to be the middle person for spirit, to give out what people need and to be truthful and honest with love and kindness and compassion. And that was what I did. And because I
But
suppose everyone would say you shine out of the, you know, when you're live on air and you're doing your readings, you really shine out.
exactly what I
And
was just about to say.
it would cause a lot of problems with some people. Some people loved it. So anyway, one day, um, the boss called me downstairs and he was telling me that the whole of his psychics, you know, the ones that don't like me, not the others, because the others were fighting for me to stay. And I realised who my mates really were. And he told me what was going on. He said, I really don't want you to go. And I said to him, it's all right. I do brilliant shows for you, yeah. And the audience, we bring them in, don't we? And I can't help it if they love me. Because I'm honest.
Yeah.
And when I leave here at night after a show, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, when I get in my car, I'm driving home. I should be happy because the show's been brilliant. But I'd end up by crying. And when I get home, I can't sleep because of what's going on, the nastiness. So anyway, he said to me, look, Mel, I've got to kind of like let you go because they're all going to come out. And I goes, that's all right. Do you know what? I left there and I came home and I walked into my recording studio. My husband's got this music going. David was there as well. I walked in. He goes, how did it go today, darling? I goes, oh, please don't ask. And then I cried. And then he goes, why are you crying? And I told him what happened. And then I goes to him, I can't remember what I said. I said, oh yeah, I said to him, I'm not going to cry anymore. I'm going to stick my fingers to the world and watch it all pass on by. And I'm going to smile. Yeah, smile. That's what I'm going to do. Smile. He goes, hey, them lyrics. He goes, come on, come to the mic. So I did the first verse and then he came in and he did the second verse. And then David came in and did the third verse. So it was like a mutual thing. That song is absolutely brilliant. I
I
love
love it.
it. So
I
upbeat.
love it. I am actually having a thought because there are people asking where they can hear your music, whether you've got anything for us now. I'm going to have a word with my husband because a lot of these people are on Oasis. And our next Oasis weekend, I'm going to see if we can get some of your tracks over to Elaine. So, because during our breaks, we play music.
Okay.
So, if we can try and get some of your tracks over to Elaine, then we can, while we're having a break, we can listen to some of your tracks. But I just want to say as well, before we move on, sorry, for anyone who can see behind Melayne, there are hundreds of photo frames all the way up 3 flights of stairs of people you have worked with, Mick Jagger, Spice Girls, Madonna, films you've been in, Prisoner of Azkaban, Harry Potter. You've got the scripts of those. It's literally walking up those stairs. You feel like you are walking around famous people. It is wonderful what you have got up there. So,
Thank you. You know
yeah,
what? They're just like us. Do you know that?
sorry.
You know, when you meet a famous person, if you just be yourself, I'm always myself. People say to me all the time, like when I go out, even in Croydon sometimes, or up in West London. I mean, I've been in John Lewis in Oxford Street, and all of a sudden this man come charging down the aisles. He's like, Melayne Stone, I'm one of your biggest fans. And I'd stop dead, and I'd give him a hug and talk to him. Hey, can I have your autograph? I said, better still, why don't you come to my house and have a reading? And I give him my card. I say, call me and I'll book an appointment. You come and spend the afternoon with me. We'll have tea and cake if you like. Now we become good friends. Lovely, lovely guy. And people come up to me all the time. They say, oh my God, you really are. You really are like how you are on the shows. When I see you on TV, oh my God. And I goes, how do you want me to be? We have to be who we really are, to be true to ourselves. I always say to be true to ourselves is to know God. That's what I say. I always say that, God. Not that I should use that word, but the creator. Because the thing is, my faith is strong because it's had to be, because no matter what I've been through, they've always helped me out of it. And, I'm here, I'm still alive. I don't know how I am.
Melayne, I've got a
Yeah,
couple of things, right?
yeah.
I've got about 3 or 4 people asking if they can hear anything tonight, any of your
Yeah,
music tonight.
yeah. Well, yeah,
Do you
hold
reckon?
on. What I can do, right? I've got a CD player over there, got the CDs right on my desk here. So if you don't mind me disappearing for a second to set it up, I could play it.
Right, before you disappear, what
Yeah.
is your website? Because then I could put that in the banner while you're disappearing.
All right. Now I'm going to say this to you. I'll give you the website. That's not a problem. I just want you to know that my website was made in 2004. Okay. And I've got songs on there. The album was my first album called Talisman Telling Tales. And basically the songs are there, but Adobe Flash are coming to an end on the 31st of December. And what keeps happening is that where the boxes are for the music, I mean, hopefully they might be able to do that. I don't know. But because the other day David touched a button, it all came up. I went, hurrah! Because my webmaster is going to use something else like Flash, so it still works the same. So I'm keeping the website as it is to that point in memory of Bob, but then I'm going to make it bigger and better with different colors and all of that. So you might be lucky and press the right button, and then Talisman Telling Tales, you'll get snippets of each song.
Yeah. So
And
what is it?
so the website is www.talisman, spelt with a Z, TALIZMAN.co.uk. But it is at the moment, he is working on my website at the moment.
Hold on.
It hasn't been working properly for ages.
Have you put it in the chat? Oh, Adam's put it in the chat. It's in the chat for people who are interested, and it's up there as well. Let me just see what the comments are. Do you know what? I said this, Debbie, to Melayne when we left after listening to her music. Perhaps Elaine Fenton will let you take the stage singing at the next healing weekend. Debbie, we need to. Because the lovely Stan, he plays the guitar.
Wow.
So Dave on drums, Stan on the guitar, you with your lungs. Healing weekend next year, we're going to see this. Elaine is loving it. So yeah, and other people are clapping when I said about listening to something now. So yeah, you go and sort your bits out.
David, do me a favour, go upstairs where the iMac is and get me that extension lead, please, darling.
So yeah.
Get me the extension lead, and I'm going to play them some stuff.
Yes, let's have a listen to it. Bear with us for a second, guys, because obviously we don't normally have a interval, but we are, and I don't know how well it will hear over here. I might drop down and get you full screen so people can pick up more over your side, but we will give it a go.
All right. So shall
I'll
I?
just mute myself.
Eh?
Yeah, I'll just mute myself. But yeah, you carry on doing what you need to do, Gal.
All right. See?
People are in hysterics. Mal, you just sounded like me. I always turn around and say, oh, yes, I'm just going to do that. Bear, I need to do this.
Well, let me go and do this, and we'll see. Bob's your uncle. Let's see what happens. All right. I won't be.
Arm.
All right, love. Pull me back.
Oh, bless her. Let's just. I'll just give her a mute while we're there. And I'll just carry on talking to you like out there, because this lady is amazing. What she's done, what she's achieved, and I mean now she's moved. You can see those picture frames up the staircase. So many famous people. It's unbelievable what she has done. And yeah, the start of her life was very low. She had such a rough start, but she found those positives, and working on that, she's gone on to make so much more of herself. Absolutely amazing. That is it. That is it, Elaine. Fly by the seat of your pants. That is what we're going to do. We don't normally do this, but yeah, I'm glad that she's going to, because her voice is still there. She was singing along to, and these are her words. She's wrote the words for all these songs. And so, you know, for her, listening to these songs, you could see the memories coming back to her. You can see what each word meant to her. And to be in that company of a songwriter, listening to these, it blew my mind. I loved it. Such beautiful words. And if you've got anything else, any other questions, please do pop them back up again. Oh, I wonder what we're going to listen to first.
David, how do I put this on?
Oh, I love her. Yeah, definitely. Sometimes magical things need to be honored, and definitely. Melayne is an incredible intuitive, but this is awesome. I love it. With Mal, we can all relate to this. What we have left behind that we need to remember. Yes, yes, absolutely, definitely. And this is it. And it's people like Mal is somebody that I've wanted to get on here for so long. When we went to see her, she was meant to come on live there and then when we went there, but we arrived, the bathroom flooded, there was a little bit of nightmare going on, so we thought, no, I'm here, sweetheart. Yesterday I looked down upon the world when it's all in the sky. Saw the city crumble twinkling of an eye. The earth was full while asleep. Ocean was looking sad. All the human beings turned to dust on the land. With the voice and arrows fly. With the voice and arrows fly. With the voice and arrows so that's the world was spinning. Stars fell from the sky. They just turned away and started to die. And now it seems that all our dreams are fake. Again, Lord, soul. It will not be the prophecies of the wise men on old. And the voice of our let the voice of our that's the time to turn the clocks back. No time to clean the slates. Where those who practice war, prepare to reach your heads. You can't love, see that all the
Do you want to hear another track called Rock and Roll Rita?
Yes. Do you want to tell the story before this, or do you want to do it afterwards?
What it was, when I first met Bob, okay, he goes to me, who are you? Where did you come from? I want to know everything about you. And I went, whoa, like that. When we did finally get together, he actually said to me, he said, I'm going to write a song about you. I said, really? He goes, yeah, because my first name is Rita. I don't normally tell people that. My middle name is Melayne, and I hate the name Rita, for me anyway, for myself, not for other people. And he goes, I love Rita. Rotten old Rita, he'd say to me, having a laugh and a joke. Rotten old Rita, like that, in his Cockney accent. So, and he goes, nah, he said. So we went up to Lake Windermere. We took a 4-track and a 12-string guitar, the Yamaha, fantastic, beautiful sound. And we were in this like wood cottage. It was beautiful, stone cottage, but wood, fireplace, for the wood, for the fireplace. It was lovely. In the middle of winter it was. Lake Windermere. I've still got the actual tape from the 4-track. And all of a sudden he started playing this tune. And unbeknownst to him, I actually pressed the 4-track on. And he never wrote anything down whatsoever. This is how great he was, And all of a sudden, he just did the intro. And then he started singing the song Rock and Roll Rita. And I sat there and I cried. Oh, it was so beautiful. And so when we came back, we had to go in the studio and record it and ask David to do backing vocals. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it. I'm going to have to find it. Let me just...
You find it, girl. I'll just read you out some of these comments while you do that. Sylvia, she said that smile on her face says it all. She absolutely loved that time. She even glows more now than she did earlier. And then
Oh,
Elaine Fenton, go girl. I love and see the girl, the passion, the world of never ending possibilities. Shine on, darling.
thank you. Right, this is the song. I'll turn it up. Rock and Roll Rita. Oh no, I've done it wrong now. What have I done? Take it back.
David!
What have I done? No, what have I done? Ah, here we go. Here we go. Can you hear it?
Spend most of your life just drifting, while in the hours away. Spend most of your life hiding and pretending someone will love you anyway. So hold out your hands and believe in me. You're holding my heart in your hands. It's never been a crime, only a matter of time. Where did you come from? Wanna know everything about you. I look into your eyes. I know I don't wanna fight you. So hold out your hands and believe in me. You're holding my heart in your hand. I remember you from long ago in some faraway land. Like no wonderland. My rock and roll leader, I smelled your hair. You asked me how did you get there, right in front of me. I can see your beauty that shines. No other can see that you are for me. My rock and roll leader, my rock and roll leader. You can run away from everything that you ever knew. Like a boat set adrift in the ocean, sailed into the blue. So hold out your hands and believe in me. You're holding my heart in your hand. You're the only one who really ever loved me. So come on, come on, come on, let's make that final stand. rock and roll reader. My rock and roll reader. My rock and roll reader.
Oh, Mal. Mal. The rawness of that song. It's incredible.
Thank you. Bob
And
wrote
I'm going to pop up some of the comments just during that song. Okay. Elaine Fenton says it's beautiful.
Thank you.
Debbie Jane Harrison, I would love to buy a CD of your music, Melayne. I love it.
Thank you.
Sylvia, love this. Gina Willow, love it. Debbie Jane Harrison, who wanted to buy a CD, beautiful. Carol Thornycroft, wow, what a voice. It hits your soul. It does hit your soul.
Thank you.
Sylvia, I'm teary-eyed, so sweet. Yeah, I'm a little bit teary-eyed.
When we used to go and do the gigs, and when it come to Rock and Roll Rita, and especially when we were doing small audiences, and and David, he got married, so we didn't see him for 7 years, and it broke our hearts, not seeing him, you know. And so me and Bob, we just go acoustic vibe, you know, and do little gigs, and we do Rock and Roll Rita, and people would just be crying in the audience, you know. And like, you know, every time, sometimes I sit here and I play our music and I just sit here and cry because I miss him so much. He was so gifted. He was such a talented man. And he never boasted. He worked with Lenny Kravitz. He worked with a lot of famous stars. And, you know, he was famous in his own right. And he never, ever, there was no ego about him. He was difficult. Oh, he was flipping hard work. But he had no ego at all on, you know, on what he could do. And he's just so magical. When he came into my life and he turned my songs into, like, he'd say to me, look, you know, I hope you don't mind if I change the music. Will you let me, let's go in the 24 track? And I nearly fall on the floor. I go, really? He goes, yeah, let's go in the 24 track. I wrote a song before I knew him. It was about an ex-partner. And I called the song If You Can't Love Me. And it's on here as well, If You Can't Love Me. And I was out one day and he found the tape. And he played it and I got back and he goes, oh, I've been very naughty. I goes, well, what have you done? He goes, I've been down your cupboard and I found all your all your music and all your lyrics. I goes, oh, why did you do that? What did you do that for? He goes, what you got the ump about? I goes, because they're rubbish. They're no good. They're no good for nothing. He goes, what the hell are you talking about? He said, you know what? I hope you don't mind, but I want to change the music for If You Can't Love Me. Let's go in the 24 track studio tomorrow. I said, you're kidding me? He goes, no. And we done that track and we worked with a top producer called Joe Dvorniak, who helped us. And that's just an amazing song. And like bit by bit, slowly by slowly, you know, I could just seeing everything coming together. He's just an amazing man, you know. And we started writing songs together, and like Poison Arrows was written in 1972, sitting on the docks of Dover. And that's all about revelations, what's going on in the world now. So, you know, and I want that out there. It's got a, you know, so many people at our gigs, I used to say, you know, listen, a band on the stage, New York Dolls, very famous. And they were they were headlining. We did the gig before them, so we were supporting them. and people were coming up to us and they were saying, New York Dolls, we love them, but you know what? We love Talisman more. They loved our stuff because it's so real, you know.
Beautiful. Yeah. I mean, I know Bob meant so much to you, but Mal, your talent as a songwriter, and you know, I mean, what you're doing now to honor his name is just amazing. And you've got his voice, you've got those songs forever to just listen to play. And he's always going to be with you and David. You're never going to lose those good times.
No, but the one thing I did promise, my neighbour from across the road the other day came here and he goes, Mel, he said, all of us here on this road, we used to, in the summer, when I used to have a live band, you've seen how big my house is, and in my living room is massive, and we had a drum kit up by the windows, bass guitarist, you know, one lead guitarist, one rhythm guitarist, and percussionist, and me doing vocals with Bob and David, yeah? And like all the neighbours used to be sitting on the opposite side of the road listening to us, and any time we stopped, they used to shout out, more, more, play Rock and Roll Rita, play This Time, play Happiness and You, you know, all this kind of stuff. Yeah. And the neighbours came over here the other day because they heard me playing the stuff. They goes, listen, Mel, it's going to be a crying shame, you know, you have to get them out there. Bob's not here anymore. You got to get them out there. This is the time for your stuff now, and you got to do it. Yeah. And this is what me and David plan, you know, because the other day I was finding lyrics, and I remember me and Bob writing these lyrics. I was going, wow, this is going to be an amazing song. Why did I leave it just sitting there like that when he could have been doing the music for it? We got so much stuff, and they're all really, really beautiful.
Yeah, I think one of my favourites that I took away from that evening was, is it Revolving Doors?
Oh, do you want to hear that? Yes, Revolving Door Syndrome.
Yes.
Do you want to hear it?
Yes, go on. Let's have another one.
All right. Yeah, Revolving Door Syndrome. Yeah.
One day get up early, rushing straight to work, making lots of money for the son of catch. Whose father is the uncle that's the king of this here town? Who'll take anything he wants if it ain't screwed down? Rip off all the people, hypnotized by their TVs. Oh, busy doing nothing now. Hey, instead of being free, you can find my way for me to think this way. But the movie keeps repeating itself every day. Money goes shopping, spending all your dough. Like the case that you put £100 to my Pasco, and the door rolls around with all the people rushing in. Like when it started, young way back it's time to live your life, to wait another day. Just take what you're needing, let love show the way. Brother and sister, mother and child, fathers and daughters, run back to the wild. And the day begins again as the seasons come and go. Back into the future, long, long ago.
I love that. Melayne, we're going to start wrapping this evening up.
Okay.
Although I don't want to. But Hilary Stanley, what a fab hidden gift. I would never have known if it hadn't been for this show. Thanks, Dan, for bringing it to light. Thank you. But thank you for Melayne for guiding tonight down the music route. We didn't know where tonight was going. We could have just spoke about the medium side of you. Sylvia, I had a course at 7, but was so drawn to see this, and I am so glad I did. The course I can see on replay. Thank you for sharing, Melayne. So people are not attending their courses just to come and see you. Carol Thornycroft, music is so healing for the soul. It's nice to see you're connected, Melayne. It's time for you to shine and share your music. So many need that healing right now, and music certainly does that. You're amazing. I'll defo buy the CD.
Thank you.
Debbie Jane Harrison, she said, awesome. Oh, and that's my husband there that's messaging. And at the bottom there, I have put Melayne's Gmail email address up. So if anybody, because the whole reason we wanted to get Melayne on is to share the other side of it, to touch a little bit on her music side, but also, bless Melayne, her social media presence is non-existent. She doesn't do Facebook. She doesn't do any of that. So during what we've gone through this year, she's really struggled. So if anybody wants to reach out to Melayne, if anybody wants to have a reading, the email address to get in touch, melaynestone33@gmail.com. Is that correct, Melayne?
Yes, and and I have another email as well, which is mel@talisman.co.uk, and that comes up on my mobile. TALIZMAN, mel@talisman.co.uk. So they can use, if I don't get back on Melayne on Gmail, I definitely will do on talisman.co.uk. But use both of them. Use both of them.
Yeah, because this is why we bring people on here, is to shine a light on them and to let people know what they're all about, what it is that they do, what they can offer. But yeah, she does need a Facebook page. I'm gonna do it. My husband is going to get on board with Mel, and Mel will be socially active on the land of Facebook. We're going to step in and help this lady out, because all she's ever done to us is shower us with kindness and with good luck. And we want to return that to you. And so anything we can do to help you, Melayne, shout, hello. You know, if you contact me, I'll just shout Bear. So it's best to just contact Bear. He'll get in touch. He'll help you out.
Can I say something? All of you, I mean, Elaine and her husband, Stan, they've been amazing towards me. And people at the healing weekends, all the workers that work for Elaine and Stan, they've always been so kind to me. And, you know, thank you to all of you that gave those beautiful comments. It really means a lot to me. And I have felt so out in the cold for a very long time. And you know what? I would really love to get cracking on with the music and the mediumship and the readings and get on Facebook. And I'm so glad and so happy that you were all in my life. I'm so grateful from the bottom of my heart. And you know, you are my part of my family. You know,
You
all
are
of you.
You are very, very much part of our family, and I'm part of the admin on Oasis, and I can speak for them as well that you are so much a part of the Oasis family. And definitely, let's see if we can format your music so we can have a little play and listen to it in the next Oasis weekend, because saying that you've got no social presence and stuff, it's so amazing for us to be able to do this, because this year has been so hard to try and get everything online. And for some people, where do they start? If you're not on Facebook, if you're not on Twitter and all this lot, where do you go from there?
I
So
know.
tonight, apart from the few times where we've managed to see you on Zoom during the Oasis group, it's been so nice that this has happened. You've figured it out. You've got yourself on here. So we need to see you on Oasis a bit more.
Well, I'd love to, honestly. And I tell you what, I thoroughly, Elaine and Stan asked me if I would do an evening, and I did do that evening, and
We saw you.
I absolutely loved it. I really did. Do you know what? I put all my cards out here tonight. I put all the different sets of cards and me runes all here, thinking maybe I was going to do some readings or something. I really did. Look, where is my bag of runes? All here, my cards. Look, all my cards. Look,
Oh,
all here. And I thought, well, I'm going to be doing some readings and helping some people, and that's what I wanted to do. And then we got onto this, and maybe it was meant to be. Maybe it was just meant to be the way it happened.
I think your music has helped a lot of people tonight.
Wow.
And do you know what? That just means we've got to get you back.
Oh, thank you.
You've got to come back and get your runes out and pull some cards for us.
I'd love to, honestly. I'd love to. And also, not only that, when I get the CDs out as well, I mean, the lyrics are very, very powerful. And that people that have been through so much, you know, what I do is I turn the lyrics into sadness being positive, you know, and I only want to speak the truth. So all the lyrics are about, you know, how life has taken me and Bob and even David and our childhood and everything we've been through. I mean, that's all our life's work. All of that is our life's work.
Yeah.
And I want to share it with everyone. I really do. I really, really do. I really mean that. It's something that has been on my mind. I say it to David all the time. I don't want them. I've got the master tapes and everything. I don't want them sitting in a drawer. I want them to be out there to the world, because there is healing music and it's telling the truth.
It
And it
is.
helps people to be closer to the higher consciousness, because that's what it's all about. We're all one.
We are.
We are all one. We really are.
Yeah.
And I really would like to help as many people as I can, musically, spiritually, and creatively, and also with the readings and the mediumship. And I've got so much love in my heart to give, and I really do want to give it. I really mean that from the bottom of my heart.
You will. And let's put it out there that the Healing Weekend 2021 is going to happen, because I want you, girl, to be on Saturday night. Forget mediumship, forget the platform. You're going to have that mic and you're going to be belting out some tunes. I
better get rehearsing then, hadn't I?
I'm going to start a petition. Let's get Mal on the Healing Weekend stage, because it is. And I'm going to go through all the comments, because it's really important that you as a special guest get to know that it's not just me and you talking. There are people. And so there are people here that's showing their appreciation back to somebody who has gave so much this evening. So, Pauline, thank you so very much. Such a treat this evening.
Oh, thank you.
You are an amazing lady.
Oh, bless you.
Beautiful lady. Thank you so much for sharing an insight into your life, Melayne, and to Dan for making this happen. Thank you, Debbie.
Definitely, 100%.
Janet, what a wonderful lady. Great evening, Dan. Sylvia, Melayne, you are awesome.
Wow.
Vanilla, thank you, Melayne, for your inspiration.
Oh, thank you.
Hilary, this has been amazing. Sylvia, it was incredible that evening. Nancy, wow. Another evening. And Elaine, Nancy was saying another evening to you doing your readings.
Yes, definitely.
And Hilary's put, but this has been so different and wonderful, like a new discovery. And this is what I liked about it, because when people think, oh, Melayne's coming on, oh, Melayne's a medium, oh, I saw her on the Oasis evening, she did runes, she did cards, maybe we're going to be getting a reading. No, we got another side of Melayne, and it healed us on a much more deeper level, but definitely will get you back.
Thank you so much for
Melayne,
all of your kindness. Thank you.
Melayne, come back again.
I will, I promise.
Angela, I needed this evening. Thank you, Melayne and Dan. Fenella, we want more Melayne. We do want more Melayne. We need to move her to the southwest. I've been
thinking of that. I've been thinking about that. Seriously, I have. Go on.
Caroline, I have loved every minute of this evening. You have so much warmth. It's like listening to one of your most trusted friends.
Oh, how lovely.
Kaz, what an amazing, beautiful lady. She is such an inspiration. Carolyn, thank you, Melayne. Your beautiful soul shines so brightly through your readings and music.
Sally, you.
Thank you for sharing some of your sparkling spirit with us this evening. It has been really interesting. I wanted to ask whether Your psychic skills are hereditary. I would be most interested to hear more from you, and I hope Dan gets you back on again. Lots of love.
Thank you. Well, they are hereditary. I've had my gifts all my life. You know, I used to run away from it. I used to get so scared. But the more I ran away from it, the more it came at me. So I went to see a priest once, and I went to see him to get, you know, some comfort because I was so afraid. And I sat there and I told him his life. And then he came out and said, I want to see you. Were you going to have some? I think I told you I had to go back to the rectory, and I had he had a lady housekeeper, and he said, "Oh, come back, come back." He said, "My housekeeper is a brilliant cook. She makes wonderful sandwiches and cakes. I want you to come back and meet her, and then you can show me the room that you described about the man running around the table with the Bible in his hand." And so I did go back there, and I took him to the room, and it was spot on. And then he goes to me, we're talking about my life, and he put his hand over his dog collar and he said to me, I know we're going to be very good friends. And he said, so not as a priest, but as a friend. He said, the God has given you a very special gift, Melayne. Go out into the world and go and help the people then. You have to do that. Promise me you will. His name was Father Peter. We became very good friends for a long time until he passed away. But he was my inspiration. Being a priest, I couldn't believe what I was hearing, because normally they'd want to burn you to the stake, wouldn't they?
Brilliant. Brilliant. Just finishing these off. Melayne, you are a lady that deserves to be in the spotlight. For Dan to bring you in for the light it's meant to be. You shine, lady. You shine.
Wow.
Get on Facebook. We will all follow you. What a fab evening. Thank you both. Janet, I love hearing people's stories and experiences, because that is it. Some of these evenings, we do a little demo, we do a little bit of interaction. But for some people, they might just want to sit back and listen to people. Katie Morris, thank you both. So lovely listening to your memories and stories. Thank you for sharing them. And then Sarah Matthews, what an amazing evening. Please come back. She's coming back. She's coming back. I'm telling you, now she knows how to come onto StreamYard. She is coming back. And yeah, we'll definitely have you here. And yeah, next time we'll look more onto the spiritual side of things.
No worries. Look, I had all my cards raring to go. Look, and my runes. But, you know, it was meant to be. But, Dan, I'm going to say this to you. I love you so much. You and your husband, I love you both so much. I'm going to tell you, without you, this couldn't have happened. I'm so grateful. You will never know how grateful I really am. And I really mean that. And I'll always be there for you, as I will always be there for Stan and beautiful, beautiful, beautiful wife of his.
Elaine.
Honestly, I really mean that, because they've always been kind to me. You've always been kind to me. And I knew the day that I met you on that stand, when I came over to you, I just knew we were going to be great friends anyway. But what you've done for me is massive for me, because I've been sitting in the dark for a long time. Now I've been going upstairs, please send me somebody, please, I need help. I don't know how to work a computer. I feel stupid. You know, I don't know how to get on Facebook. I don't know what am I going to do about this wonderful music. I want it to be out there. Please help me, send me someone. And now there you are. And you've been there for 5-6 years. And I never even realised it.
The angels sent you.
It's meant to.
The angels sent you a couple of fairies.
And you know what? I don't mind.
We're your fairy gay fathers, darling.
Well, I had a beautiful brother. He died at the age of 27. And he was gay. My brother was gay, and he lived with me. I looked after him. He was very ill for 7 years, and I looked after him for 7 years. He died in my arms, and he was the most campest gay guy that I'd ever met, and he was hilarious. He made everybody laugh. And you know, he used to be a bit of a drag queen. He was a brilliant singer, brilliant actor, and he'd been in a lot of movies and stuff like that. And it broke my heart when he passed, but he's always been with me. And I'll tell you what is the most outrageous. He didn't care, you know. He was so funny. And even if you didn't want to laugh, people that didn't want to laugh, they ended up by cracking up laughing anyway, because that's how funny he was.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Melayne, I, I hate saying goodbyes. Goodbyes suck. I don't want this evening to end, but it is. And thank you. Thank you for such lovely words to us. And, you know, the story's just begun. You know, we're going to get you onto Facebook. We're going to help push your music to whichever revenue route you want to take with that. We'll support that with you. And yeah, I mean, guys, I mean, they've commented and gave their thanks for so much. And like I said at the beginning, sometimes I have to tweeze words out of their mouths.
Wow.
You know, tonight the comments have just flown. They felt your warmth. They've sat in your light. So I'm going to drop you down, and then you're free to go and get David to make you some dinner or whatever it is you're doing this evening. But whatever you're doing, have a great one, and we will be in touch to get you back on for a little bit of Night with Mel with readings.
That would be fantastic. And tell everybody I give them a massive, big, huge hug. And thank you to all of them. And honestly, thank you to you and your husband, seriously. And to Elaine and Stan Fenton for having me on Zoom as well. You know, because I really enjoyed it. I loved it. And the people, they're so lovely. They're so warm. And you tell all of them from me, it takes one to know one. And what they're giving me, their love, well, that's because they're beautiful souls as well. So I really appreciate all of you, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. You've really uplifted me, and I'm so grateful. Thank you so much.
Good. That's what we're here for.
And kiss those 5 cats of yours.
All 5 cats will be kissed. Because, yeah, next time we'll need to go down your route of your cats. But that's for the next time. Melayne, enjoy your evening. Thank you, David, for sparing us for tonight. And thank you for bringing our energies into your house.
No, you're welcome. Anytime. Bless you. Love and light and angel blessings to all of you.
Back to you, sweetheart. Bye-bye, sweetheart. Oh, gosh, that was amazing. I love Melayne. And thank you once again for being amazing. For really settling our guests, giving them the support, giving them amazing feedback. It's so nice to have that. And yes, I didn't know she was having, I didn't know she had all those cards there, as I would have gone. But that's the great of being live and great having such an amazing guest on, where you don't know what angle it's going to go. You don't know what path you're going to go down. But I'm glad we went down that path. So I'm going to end tonight. We are back Monday. Monday night, we're back at 7. We're going to be doing the throat chakra. So we're going to talk about the throat chakra and the 6 crystals that can work with your throat chakra. Because that's going to be at 7 o'clock. There's no special guest on Tuesday night because I've got an online workshop working with toxic crystals. We're going to be talking about six toxic crystals. So there'll be no special guest on Tuesday night. But our market is on Wednesday night at 7. Fingers crossed our delivery arrives. If not, it's only going to be Monday. We're going to be on Facebook. Apart from Saturday, when I clarify who is coming on Saturday to entertain us. It might be the person we had tonight. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what she's doing. Okay, gorgeous guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. If you've had Strictly on pause, play it, enjoy it. We're going to catch up with Strictly now. See you all soon. Good night. Have a great one. Bless her. I love her.